My parent named me Alma. Story link is Shadows of the Inner Self. In the city of Lemuria, every citizen was born twice. The first birth was ordinary breath, cry, and light. The second birth came at 16, when each person entered the vast, a boundless virtual world where the inner self took form. Aaron Salas stood on the balcony of his apartment the night before his second birth, watching the sky flicker with holographic advertisements for avatars, personality skins, curated destinies. In Lemuria, reality was efficient, measured, monitored. But in the vast, one could become anything. At least, that was the promise. Aaron did not fear monsters or glitches. He feared something subtler. That when he stepped into the vast, nothing would appear. What if there was no inner self? What if his shadow had no shape? This was, though he did not yet have the language for it, a story of identity. The entry chamber gleamed white, sterile and humming. Neural filaments lowered toward Aaron's temples like threads of silver rain. His mother squeezed his hand before he lay back. "Remember," she said softly, "the vast reveals what you carry." That frightened him more than comforted him. The machine activated. Reality dissolved. He fell, not through space but through layers of memory. Childhood laughter. Arguments. Silent envy. The time he lied to protect a friend. The time he said nothing when he should have spoken. Then, ground. Aaron stood in a twilight field beneath a sky of fractured mirrors. He looked down at himself. He was not armored. Not radiant. Not monstrous. He was ordinary. Except for one thing. His shadow moved independently. It peeled itself from his feet and stood before him, a silhouette shaped like him but darker than absence. "You're late," the shadow said. Aaron's heart pounded. "What are you?" The shadow tilted its head. "I am what you leave behind in daylight." The mirrors overhead shimmered, and text formed in the sky like a whispering script. "Welcome to the vast. Welcome to your inner self." And so began a story of identity. The vast adapted to thought. When Aaron feared isolation, buildings rose around him. Towers of glass reflecting endless versions of himself. In each reflection he looked slightly different. Confident. Angry. Joyful. Cold. The shadow walked beside him like a companion. "You expected glory," it murmured. "Instead you found me." "I didn't expect anything," Aaron replied defensively. "Exactly." They entered a plaza where other users shaped their worlds. Some soared with luminous wings. Others commanded storms. One knelt, weeping, as fragments of their environment collapsed into darkness. Identity here was not costume. It was confession. Aaron touched a reflective pillar. The glass rippled, revealing a memory. He was 10 years old, hiding a sketchbook because classmates mocked his drawings. The pillar cracked. "Why show me this?" he demanded. The shadow circled him. "Because you pretend you do not care." "I don't." The plaza trembled. His denial distorted the architecture. Buildings leaned unnaturally. The shadow's voice deepened. "The vast does not reward lies." Aaron realized the rule. This virtual world mirrored not desire, but truth. Every suppressed thought reshaped terrain. Every unacknowledged fear birthed distortion. This was not escapism. It was confrontation. Drawn by distant music, Aaron followed lantern light to a market suspended over an abyss. Stalls displayed masks shimmering with personalities. The mask of the fearless leader. The mask of the beloved artist. The mask of the untouchable. A merchant with shifting eyes beckoned him. "Try one," she urged. "No one must know." Aaron lifted the mask of the beloved artist. When he placed it over his face, the world brightened. Applause filled the air. Murals of breathtaking beauty appeared on surrounding walls. His creations, admired and praised. Warmth surged in his chest. "This is who I could be," he whispered. The shadow stood at the edge of the abyss. Silent. But as Aaron basked in admiration, he felt something hollow. The murals were stunning, but effortless. They required no vulnerability. No risk. He removed the mask. The murals shattered into shards that fell into darkness. The merchant frowned. "You could have stayed." "It wasn't real," he said. She smiled thinly. "Reality is overrated." The shadow approached. "Or perhaps," it murmured, "you fear earning it." Aaron clenched his fists. He realized that the market did not offer transformation. It offered anesthesia. Days, or what felt like days, passed in the vast. Time behaved like emotion. Elastic, unreliable. Aaron began shaping small spaces intentionally. A studio formed when he admitted he still loved drawing. A storm cleared when he acknowledged his anger toward his father's distant expectations. But the shadow grew stronger. It began anticipating his thoughts. "You resent them," it would say before he spoke. "You envy her. You are afraid you are average." Each confession altered the world. The sky stabilized. Colors deepened. Yet Aaron grew exhausted. In reality, his physical body lay safe in the entry chamber. Monitors tracked neural waves. To observers, he appeared peaceful. Inside, he was unraveling. One evening, the mirrors in the sky cracked simultaneously. From the fractures descended darker figures, shadows not attached to any person. "What are those?" Aaron asked. The shadow stiffened. "Fragments." "Of who?" "Of those who refused." The fragments circled him, whispering, "You are nothing. You are replaceable. You are too late." Aaron covered his ears. "Make them stop." The shadow faced him fully for the first time. Its eyes glowed faintly. "I cannot," it said. "They are yours." Aaron ran. The city warped as he fled. Buildings bent like melted wax. The ground fragmented into floating platforms. He leaped across gaps, chased by whispers. In desperation, he tried to log out. There was no exit. Panic surged. "This is just a program," he shouted. "I can shut it down." The shadow's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. "You can close your eyes. But I remain." A platform shattered beneath him. He fell into darkness. As he plummeted, memories struck like lightning. Every moment he had suppressed his own desires to appear agreeable. Every time he stayed silent to avoid conflict. Every compliment he deflected. He saw himself becoming transparent in his own life. He understood then. The fragments were born from neglected truths. Each unclaimed aspect of self had split off, seeking acknowledgement. He hit ground that was not ground. He stood in a void. Only the shadow remained. "You think I am your enemy," it said gently now. "But I am your outline. Without me you have no depth." Aaron's voice trembled. "Then why does it hurt?" "Because growth tears." This was not merely a virtual trial. It was narrative pressing against reality. A story of identity demanding integration. In the void, Aaron did not run. He sat. The fragments hovered at a distance. "I am afraid," he said aloud. The words rippled outward like a stone in still water. The nearest fragment dissolved into light. "I want to create," he continued. "Even if no one applauds." Another fragment softened. "I resent being compared." More light. "I am not extraordinary," he whispered. "But I am not empty." The shadow stepped closer until it merged with him. Darkness flowed into his chest, not suffocating, but anchoring. He felt heavier. Real. The void brightened gradually. A horizon formed. The sky reassembled without mirrors. The vast had changed. Not into fantasy, but into landscape. Mountains carved by effort, rivers shaped by emotion. He flexed his hands. When he imagined drawing, tools appeared, but required motion. Effort. Practice. No instant mastery. No mask. Just possibility. When Aaron finally chose to exit, the vast did not resist. The entry chamber lights flickered back into view. Technicians monitored screens. His mother stood nearby. He opened his eyes. "You were under for 18 hours, a technician said. It felt like years. His mother searched his face. "Who did you become?" Aaron sat up slowly. "Myself," he answered. In the weeks that followed, reality felt different. Not because the city changed, but because he did. He enrolled in a design collective he had once avoided. He spoke honestly when overwhelmed. He admitted uncertainty without self-contempt. The shadow did not disappear. Instead, it aligned naturally with his feet, moving as he moved. Yet the boundary between the vast and Lemuria began to blur. Sometimes, when he closed his eyes, he could still see the mountains he had shaped. He could feel the weight of integration. He realized the virtual world, had not created identity. It had revealed it. This story of identity extended beyond code. Months later, rumors spread of users trapped in the vast, lost in fragmented realms. Aaron volunteered to re-enter as a guide. The officials hesitated. The system is unstable, they warned. So are people, he replied. Back in the vast, he found areas corrupted by denial, cities frozen in false perfection, skies looping endlessly. He encountered a young girl wearing the mask of the untouchable. Her world sparkled, but her eyes were hollow. You don't have to keep it on, Aaron told her gently. If I take it off, she said, they'll see me. They will, he agreed. And that's terrifying. He showed her the scar on his arm, an imprint from where his shadow once burned during integration. It doesn't vanish, he said. It becomes part of you. She removed the mask. Her world trembled, but did not collapse. Color shifted from artificial neon to warm sunrise. Aaron understood then that the vast was not merely a personal arena. It was collective. Each integrated self stabilized the network. Identity was contagious. As more citizens confronted their shadows, Lemuria changed subtly. Conversations grew more honest. Art became less polished and more profound. Efficiency gave way to empathy in small but meaningful ways. The vast stabilized, reflecting not chaos but complexity. Aaron stood once more on his balcony, years after his second birth. The sky no longer flickered with advertisements. The culture had shifted away from selling personas. Children still approached their 16th year with trembling anticipation. But the narrative had changed.